Steve Weissman, John Wertheim, Chanda Rubin. John, it was emotional, it was physical, it was up and down. What stood out to you?
Up and down, exactly. How's that for a reset? That was really a rough first set by Novak Djokovic. He was a point from going down a set in the break, and then we did not see him reset. But boy, was that was a classic, and just sort of compartmentalization and turning a match around.
Yeah, and I thought it was impressive the way Novak just kind of gathered himself. Obviously was having some physical difficulties, weren't sure just how substantial they were, whether he could even work through it during the course of the match. He must have had some doubts while he was out there playing. This is not a good feeling, to have when you are on the biggest stage and when you want it so badly. But Novak, impressive in the way he worked through it, made adjustments on the court, and as the match went on, and that's going to, I think, serve him well as he goes forward. Sometimes you need a little adversity, and this could have been it for Novak.
Jim Courier said at the end of that broadcast, throughout this event, it's been a contrast between Rafa Nadal, Novak Djokovic, who could be a little bit better. Today, with the injury early on with Novak Djokovic, does it change your thoughts of him as the favorite?
You keep trying to get me to change my idea, Steve. I'm not wishy-washy.
Good for you.
I'm going to stay with it. And
okay.
I think at the end of the day, obviously we don't know physically just how bad or extensive it was. Is that something that's going to linger? We hadn't seen any physical issues from Djokovic in his previous matches. So, there would certainly be some concern. I have no idea where all that's going to work out for his next match. But when you consider he was still able to work through that match, there's no reason for me to change.
Yeah. All right.
Go with it.
There is only one player left on the men's side that has yet to drop a set here. That is the 12-time champ, Rafa Nadal. A couple guys who dropped their first two sets here would meet in the quarterfinals earlier today, and it was a matchup 10 days in the making. In fact, Andrei Rublev and Stefano Tsitsipas playing each other for the second time since the tournament began. They met in the finals of Hamburg. Rublev rallied from 5-3 down in the third to win it. He got that trophy nearly 900 miles southwest. They would meet again in Paris. And, John, both players coming into this one with some confidence. Rublev up 5-3 in the first, only won 5 more games after.
You mentioned that 5-3. That seems to be a critical match score, because 5-3 in the first set to Rublev, and after that, all Tsitsipas. Rublev's quote I left: he brought all the balls back. So this was hard-hitting Tsitsipas, but also a lot of defense from Tsitsipas. 17 ventures to the net, won 16 points. After that 5-3 deficit, 16 of the next 21 games. And for a guy who lost his first 2 sets of this tournament, he has not lost one since. This was really a fine performance from Tsitsipas. And you're right, Steve, this is just 10, 12 days removed from their last match. So this was a nice fight back into his first semi-final at Roland Garros. With this match point, it's appropriate. This is volley number 17. Appropriate, he won that at the net, but this was really foul.
First ever win over Andrei Rublev. It's a big one, and he was asked after about the young generation winning a major.
Would you believe that the next winner of a Grand Slam could be one of you guys?
First of all, I would like to tell you that I'm not an next-gen player anymore. I'm a proper adult. Second of all, for sure it's gonna come at some point. Let's face it. Yeah, the big three have been there for a long time, but I don't feel like it's going to be the same in 5-6 years' time, I believe.
He is a proper adult. Don't get it twisted. 22 years old, nonetheless, Chanda, gets into the semifinals here. First Greek player, by the way, to ever reach the semifinals at Roland Garros. Now you know he's got Novak Djokovic. What do you think of Stefano Tsitsipas?
No, I think this is a great opportunity. And, we talk about Novak, what are his chances? At the end of the day, you look at the way Tsitsipas played, and he can challenge, I think, anybody. Now, whether he can produce that type of tennis 3 out of 5 sets against Novak Djokovic playing his best, we'll see where Novak is. But I think when you consider how aggressive he was, he barely put a step wrong in a match that he just lost against a week or so ago, a week and a half ago. I think that gives him tremendous confidence. And he should be more relaxed. He's not expected to win, and that's when a player is most dangerous.
Good point. He's beaten Novak multiple times. He's beaten him on clay. Best of 5 is a different challenge. I think decision-making is going to be a part of this. And also, what is he going to do when Novak Djokovic returns the way he returns, which is such a source of frustration. It makes servers go for so much on the serve. But I think Tsitsipas has a real chance. And again, I mean, the injury we'll see, but keep in mind, Novak got increasingly better as the match wore on. I don't think this injury will be a big deal.
That's a good point that John raises. How will he control his serve? He won 80% of his first serves today. Can he do that against a player like Novak Djokovic?
Yeah, I think it's going to be more difficult. It probably won't be quite that high, but I think the element that Tsitsipas brought into that match, being aggressive, coming in, I mean, that's something that he can do better than a lot of the guys who are in his age group. And I think you're going to have to accept the fact that you'll get passed. You're going to lose some of those points, but that was an important part of his game. And I think if he brings that to the table, he certainly gives himself a better chance.
Impressive stuff. Lost the first two sets here at Roland Garros. Has not dropped a